Hey there, my friend. Let's talk about something real for a moment. Every man, at some point in his life, faces betrayal. Maybe it's a breakup. Maybe she walked away like you meant nothing to her. Or worse, maybe she cheated. And when that happens, it hits you like a ton of bricks. It feels like the ground has been ripped out from under you. Your first instinct? You want to lash out. You want answers. You want to tell her exactly how much she's hurt you. But here's the thing. Your words won't fix this. They won't make her feel your pain. They won't make her respect you. And they definitely won't bring her back. So, what's the move? Silence. Not just ignoring her, but mastering the art of holding back, letting your absence speak louder than any words ever could. Because when you do that, you take back control. You stop giving her the satisfaction of seeing your pain. And most importantly, you show her that she's lost access to you. And that's more powerful than any argument you could ever have. Now, let me break it down for you. Here's why silence is the ultimate power move after betrayal. Point 1. When power speaks without words. Let me tell you a story. You've probably heard of Helen of Sparta and Menelaus, right? One of the most famous love stories in history. The Trojan War? Yeah, that was all about Helen. She was married to Menelaus, but she left him for Prince Paris of Troy. That betrayal sparked a war that lasted 10 years. Menelaus fought, not just for revenge, but to get her back. And in the end, he won. Troy was destroyed, Paris was dead, and Helen was standing right in front of Menelaus again. This was the moment everyone expected him to explode, to rage, to humiliate her, to make her suffer for what she'd done. But what did Menelaus do? Nothing. No anger, no accusations, just silence. He looked at her, turned around and walked away. And that silence? It shook Helen more than anything else. She expected fury, drama, something to confirm that she still mattered to him, even if it was through hate. But instead, he acted like she wasn't worth his words. And that was the real punishment. Here's the truth. When someone betrays you, they expect a reaction. They expect yelling, begging, fighting. It reassures them that they still have a hold on you. But when you stay silent, when you don't give them the satisfaction of seeing your pain, that's when regret creeps in. She'll start wondering, did I ever really matter to him? Why isn't he fighting for me? Did I just lose a man who was actually worth something? And trust me, that silence will haunt her. So don't waste your breath. Don't argue. Don't chase. Let her sit in the silence. Let her feel the loss. Because the worst punishment for someone who betrayed you is realizing you don't care anymore. Point 2. She lost access. She's no longer in your world. Let me break it down for you. She had VIP access to your life, your thoughts, your emotions, your time. That was exclusive. Not just anyone gets that. But the second she betrays you, that pass is revoked. She doesn't get to know what's going on in your head anymore. She doesn't get to know if you're sad, if you're hurting, or if you've already moved on. And let me tell you something. That unknown, it will drive her insane. She'll do whatever she can to get a reaction out of you. She might text you just to see if you'll reply. She might throw little insults your way, act like she doesn't care, or even start posting things to make you jealous. Why? Because she needs to feel like she still has some level of control over you. But when you give her nothing, no response, no emotion, just pure silence, you flip the script. Now she's the one wondering. Now she's the one feeling the loss. And that's more powerful than anything you could ever say. Point 3. Silence makes her face her own guilt. Here's the thing, bro. Women don't handle guilt the way we do. When a man messes up, he owns it. He takes the hit, deals with the consequences, and moves forward. But when a woman feels guilty, she scrambles for a way out. She rewrites the story in her head to make herself the victim. And the second you argue with her, boom, you just gave her an escape route. Now, instead of facing what she did, she's telling herself, oh, he's just overreacting. He's too emotional. He's making a big deal out of nothing. But when you stay silent, when you give her nothing to push against, she's left alone with her own conscience. And let me tell you something about the human mind. It always fills in the blanks with the worst-case scenario. She'll start thinking, what if he knows more than I thought? What if he sees me for who I really am? What if I actually lost a great man? And that feeling? It's worse than anything you could ever say. Let her sit in it. Let her feel the weight of her own actions. Because trust me, that silence will haunt her more than any words ever could. Point 4. Arguing only gives her more power. Look, man, I know you feel like telling her off. You want to lay it all out, tell her exactly how wrong she was, make her see what she lost. You think that's you being strong, standing up for yourself. But let me hit you with some truth. Arguing with her is the biggest mistake you can make, because the second you engage, you're telling her she still matters. You're showing her that she still has space in your mind, that she still has control over your emotion. And that's exactly what she wants. She doesn't care if it's love or hate. As long as it's a reaction, she wins. She knows you're still affected, and that gives her power. But when you go silent, when you give her nothing, no closure, no explanation, no last words, that's when the real punishment kicks in. Now she's the one stuck wondering, did he ever really care? Why isn't he fighting for me? Did I just lose a man who actually had value? And that will haunt her more than anything you could ever say. Point 5. Silence puts you back in control. This isn't just about her. This is about you. Right now, your emotions are screaming at you to react, to text her, to call her, to get some kind of response. That's your impulse talking. But real power? That comes from restraint. Silence isn't just about cutting her off. It's about proving to yourself that you don't need her validation, that your worth isn't tied to what she thinks, what she says, or whether she regrets losing you. The second you stop explaining, stop defending, stop justifying, you take your power back. You shift the focus from her back to where it should have been all along, on you. And that's when you truly win. Because a man who doesn't seek approval, a man who moves in silence and lets his actions speak, that's the man she'll regret losing. Final words, let her feel the loss. At the end of the day, silence does two things, and both are in your favor. First, it forces her to face herself. She has to sit with what she's done, and for the first time she won't have your words to defend against, argue with, or twist in her favor. She'll wonder if she ever truly mattered to you, and, trust me, that uncertainty will eat at her. Second, it reminds you of your own power. You're not begging for closure. You're not arguing for validation. You're not playing her game. You're walking away. And in doing that, you prove that you never needed her approval in the first place. So here's my advice. Say nothing. Give her nothing. Because silence, my friend, is the loudest thing she'll ever hear.